morning, faithful. How are you doing? I said that completely wrong. Fight for title love. I'm too tired. I stayed up all night with my dog. She was not doing a good night, so I'm extremely tired. Good morning, faithful. It is March 12th, 2025. Everything on me is on a delay right now with how tired I am. How's everybody doing? It's Captain here with coming with your Captain and Coffee morning report. The rebuild of the Niners is still underway, and the full time more coffee show. Anyways, this started. Let's just jump into it because I might just do something else stupid this morning. All right, the 49ers, one of the things we added was free agent safety Richie Grant on a 1 year deal. Here's a look at what he's done during his 4 seasons in Atlanta. Thank you to Coach Yak. He's had 33 career starts, 17 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, 11 touchdowns, 4 forced fumbles, 3 sacks, and a ton of special teams. So this is again, we are definitely rebuilding our special teams. Uh, and that's definitely a good thing to see that we've got coming in. Why is my camera not? There we go. I don't know why it was mirrored like that. Anyways, so we can tell there's definitely going to be an influx of special teams players. I know a lot of people were expecting to see a big splash in free agency. Honestly, with you, ladies and gentlemen, other than maybe the Joey Bosa thing, which I try to tell people don't get excited for, um, we weren't going to make a big splash of free agency. That's not the way this team has ever been run or anything along those lines. So again, just I don't understand why everybody was like, we have to get this guy and this guy and this guy and that guy. It was never going to happen. We are always been more active in like day two, day three. So yeah, day three, which is basically now today the start of the league new year begins today at 4 p.m. So pretty much everything that's happened technically is not quote unquote legal or signed and everything until 4 p.m. today. All right, so that's him. We could probably also compete over on safety with this one. All right, then we also put a second round tender on running back Jordan Mason. A lot of people think that even though with the tender that we still expect him to be traded, seeing how we also re-signed Patrick Taylor. We still have Isaac Garendo. Ibukanda is still on this team. And of all of those guys, he's going to be the one that is going to be the most trade friendly and where people could possibly, people who want. They've seen Jordan Mason play. Um, I don't necessarily want Jordan Mason to leave simply because I understand the trade value for him, but right now he is our power back, if you will, and no one else really technically has that skill set. And I would love to see someone else on there who just give the ball. That one of the reasons why we call him the closer, come in late in the game and just sit there and shut down everybody, kind of a situation. So um, definitely what I don't want to see him go, but he also holds the most trade value. Then we also released Leonard Floyd, which this one, along with the whole Joey Bosa thing, I didn't understand. In my opinion, I wonder if we released him thinking that we were really close to getting Joey Bosa, and it just didn't happen. Um, he also isn't necessarily a fit, more or less, with what Robert Saleh is going to do. But I did not expect to see him cut, especially if we didn't have someone else in mind to bring him in. That said, seeing with some of the signings and everything we've gone through or have not made, I expect we are going to hit this defensive line hard in the draft. Right now, we've got the 10 picks. I'd like to see that go up to about 13 or so with trade downs and whatnot. But this defensive line is going to be really quickly. All right. Then we also we did not tender linebacker Curtis Robinson, but we did sign him to a 1 year deal. He was the 49ers nominee for the Man of the Year award. He is coming off ACL, suffered at the beginning of last year. So he should be pretty much good to go come training camp. By the way, so linebackers are interesting because right now, obviously, we have Ford, or not Ford, but Fred, who's going to be starting. But then we also have D. Winner, Kenny Bethune, Robinson. Obviously, no Dre Greenlaw anymore. It's going to be an interesting part for our linebackers. probably going to need one coming out of the draft, is what I'm thinking. Then from Tom Pelissero, we agreed to terms special teams ace and linebacker Luke Gifford on a 1-year contract. Again, he could fill in on one of those linebacker positions, and maybe we don't go towards the draft for it. But this is definitely a special teams pickup. I think we are going to build a special teams unit that's going to be pretty good. I think we can bring back the 21 tennis song. We start doing the dancing and all that. I want special teams to actually be exciting again. I want people to get hyped when the special teams go out there. I want to see big hits for the special team. I want to see big runs. I don't want to see, as it's been basically where it's lately, it's just been the bare minimum for the special team. You know how the theory has been that basically just don't fuck up. I don't want a don't fuck up special teams. I want an exciting special teams. Then we also signed defensive back Jason Pinnock. It's interesting because you look at some of these guys. He is a former Jim Thorpe finalist. Still in 25 years. He's got 6.5 sacks, 11 class breakups. Since New York, he originally was a Jet, where they had to cut him early. I don't understand what the purpose of cutting him was, because Robert Saleh. This is definitely a Robert Saleh pickup. Robert Saleh was talking about him at the point. They really wanted to get him back. They just couldn't. At some point, things just come down to money and how you build your roster, with like injuries and stuff like that. Excuse me. But Robert Saleh was just glaringly talking about this guy. It's funny because you look at some of these things, you're like, okay, that's not so bad. But then I saw another stat where he is when you have anything or any quarterback thrown at over 20 times last year, he was dead last with his QBR. It's like, so while some of these numbers look good, his actual play seems to not be good. And then, like, a couple of guys that we're in a Discord with seem to be pretty excited for us, the fact that we picked him up. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a very big player, nothing type addition to the team we've got going on right now. So again, Jordan Schultz now on the team, or from Jordan Schultz, Jason is now on the 49ers. And then we also picked up from the Rams wide receiver Demarcus Robinson on the 2-year deal. This is basically going to be, I'm not going to say the replacement for BA, but this is going to be the guy who fills in for BA for the most part, going through for whenever BA is ready. One thing of note with him, he did have a DUI back in November. The NFL still has not made any sort of ruling as far as punishment for him. So there is a good chance that he could still face a suspension to start the year. So that is still up in limbo because the legal part is still going through, and the NFL will not do any rulings on that kind of stuff until the legal part of it is done. So again, more than likely, he's going to at least face 1 game suspension. So it looks like our top 3 wide receivers would be Demarcus Robinson, and Ricky Pearsall. And honestly, we upgraded our defensive line. We've upgraded our tight end room already. And if we draft a good young tight end in the draft, I'm okay with that. With that wide receiving core, that's not a terrible wide receiving core. Is it anybody that's going to blow your mind? Anything like that? No. But it's the guys that I would trust making, grabbing some middle, making some of those yak yards and whatnot. Yes, that I 100% agree with. It is a decent one, especially if we go back towards the running team, which we are supposed to be built upon. We just start running the ball more. You don't necessarily need those high-powered wide receivers if we're running for 7-8 yards of play. Yeah, excuse me. It is a tired. Like I said, I probably didn't go to bed until about 1, and it is already 5 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up for about an hour or so already. So your boy's tired. But anyway, so Demarcus Robinson will be one of our most likely starting probably week 2 or so. One of our starting wide receivers. Still doesn't mean we probably don't get another wide receiver in the draft coming up. And last but not least, I tried telling everybody Joey Bosa was not coming to the Niners. And the way I said, one, I don't want a broken down defensive end to be on this team in general. Again, Leonard Floyd was much more productive than he was for you know little less money. But speaking of money, if you guys know the Bosa's, this family in general is not give up a penny. Joey was not going to give up any amount of money, even to play with his brother. It just wasn't going to happen. So he got, obviously there was a bidding war from what I understand between us, the Dolphins, and obviously the Bills. The Bills won out. Apparently, from what I understand, the Niners were offering about 10 mil and nothing more. He got more from the Bills. No, I don't know if the Dolphins offered anything as well, but they were this family. They love their money. Good for them. They're not taking a pay less, a pay, even just to play with each other this season. So I had never thought it was a good fit, and I didn't like the fact that we had a cheaper version of Leonard Floyd already on the team, but he's gone as well. And then also, everybody make sure to use the link in the description of the video to get 10% off of your order of Goat Fuel, backed by the goat himself, Jerry Rice. As far as anything going on today at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, is the official start of the NFL 2025 season. Me and TJ will be going live today over on 950 Radio at 4:30. We should have more finalized deals. Obviously, there's probably going to be a few more signings going on throughout the day, and then we will talk about it. Until then, everybody, I'm going to go take a morning nap. See y'all later. One love.